Hey everybody, this is Kyle. Today I'm going to talk about my song War and some of the behind the scenes writing this one. So to start off with, I always like having a story in my song. And let me know in the comments, like, what are some contemporary songs that may have come out in the last 5 or 10 years or so. I'm older than some people, so 5 to 10 years is a good chunk of life. So I guess that's current. But let me know of any songs that you like that are newer, that have a story to them. So the basic story of War is I have this metaphor of war as a romantic struggle. And throughout the story that I tell with the words, you have someone, it's very coy, there's a lot of flirtation, there's some engagement, there's a pause, time period where the one person is not responding to the other. And then there's some more engagement, and notice how diplomatic I'm being with this. So there's some more engagement. Then the person telling the story finds out they have been played. It was all just this big kind of game. Now, for me as a songwriter, especially being older, I wanted to tell a story in a way that seemed young, seemed kind of fresh, to give my songwriting a different kind of feel. And I am going to get to the hardest part of writing the song, and I guess in some ways the hardest thing about sharing this song, even though this will be on the full video for the backstory on my Patreon. So I have this basic story, relationships. That struggle is kind of like a war. And since I play some games, I play tabletop war games and do some other stuff because I'm a big, fat, old nerd. Maybe I'm not that fat. But since I play these types of games, that seemed a very good and applicable metaphor. So let me get to, as a songwriter, something I am the most proud of, and I think in this song works really well. I started to add a hook section, something that I would purposely write thinking, this has an earworm quality, this is something people could sing along with, and whenever I would produce the songs and come up with different musical arrangements, I wanted to emphasize this aspect in order to encourage that. And that's something, a lot of contemporary songwriters and producers do, do you have some sort of hook? And to me, the wording of this, broken heart pain goes straight to the brain, makes you want to pull the plug, goes straight down the drain. And I almost messed up saying that. When I used to teach English, I had this totally stupid story of when I was in high school, and there was this cheerleader named Amy. And she was like so hot that, anytime she was around, you just felt like an idiot. Like I could barely talk. She was that attractive. And she kind of holds up too. We're friends on Facebook and stuff. But in a note that one of her friends sent me, she put, Friday there's a football game and Amy has to cheer. And the rhythm of that has always stuck in my head. I think that's part of the appeal of contemporary music, that is more rhythmic focused, even though the melody is a little downplayed depending on the genre and stuff. But when I taught English, I'd share that story because the rhythmic cadence, Friday there's a football game and Amy has to cheer, that was a good way to demonstrate how poetry works. Because a lot of times students, could connect more with lyrics or something like that. When you looked at poetry, especially something that was older, it was hard to have that connection to. And so pointing out that and then, using that as a hook in a different way to pull their attention and understanding into like Keats or, even Shakespeare or something, that was a good vehicle to, pull the students along. When I wrote that part for this song, I was like, this is not horrible. This turned out pretty good. And sometimes with your own creations, it's hard to, I guess, objectively say, hey, this is good, hey, this is whatever. Because a lot of times you will create something and think, could this go somewhere? Could people like it? Could I market it? Could I make a video? Could I do something? So let's get to the part of what was the hardest part about the song. Since I'm a teacher and, I'm very near retirement, what was the hardest part about this song to just kind of say, release, put out in the public? Has to do with something in the lyrics. So let me know in the comments if you want to take a guess. Otherwise, I'm going to jump over here to Patreon and give this reveal.